quickly switch here into our next availability. We have now been joined by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky, welcome to Nashville. Thanks for joining us. Before we get started with questions, I'm going to hand the mic over to you to make a little bit of an announcement on your end.
Yeah, always good to be in Nashville, especially after last year. We had, obviously a really good run here at the inaugural Cup event, and hoping we can translate that into this new car and and continue that success that we had here last year. So it's been a good week so far. Myself and everybody at JTG Doherty Racing inked a new contract for me for a multi-year contract. So that's been something that we've been working on. I know that a few people's asked me over the last few weeks kind of where that was, but we had been working on that. So very thankful for Tad and Brad, Jody, Gordon, everybody in the ownership group, and then obviously everybody in the race shop, and we got so many people that don't get to travel with us every weekend that put their heart and soul into this organization, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
All right. Well, congratulations on that. On your end, we're going to go ahead and take questions. We're going to start up front with Jenna, and then we'll circle back here with Lee and Bob and Mark.
So I guess you do have a contract extension to announce. Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What made you want to stay?
I really have enjoyed my time at JTG. I feel like, we haven't had, the end results points-wise, but I feel like we've had so many bright spots throughout our first few seasons together. I feel like, with this new car, we were hoping to have it last year and continue to build on that. And, obviously this is the first year with it. So, I know for me and the way this car's been, I feel like, certain racetracks we kind of have it figured out, and then there's other racetracks where we're pretty out to lunch and we're still looking for, those parts and pieces to be in the right spot to be fast. But I feel confident with, the people that we have that, we will be able to do that. And so, Tad and everybody at Kroger's put a lot of faith in me to come over here and drive the car. And I think we've shown some, really solid, strong runs this year. Had an opportunity to win at Dover, I felt like. Charlotte, we had a, really fast car. I think that's the reason why. I just really enjoy the family atmosphere, from the top down. Everybody in our shop, our partners. It's been a really good relationship. I don't actually know where anybody else's contracts are. Oh, no, like I said, I mean, from the top to bottom, I feel like, obviously I've had a super long relationship with Brian, and you look at people in the shop, Mike Kelly, Ernie and I, even though we haven't worked together for a long time, we've had, really good relationships when we raced against each other. I just feel like everybody believes in each other there, and I think that's, what I look for, in our group going forward is, hopefully this car is supposed to stay the same, for years to come. And I think that's only going to help us build our notebook, going forward.
All right, we're going to go Lee, Mark, and then up front to Bob, please. Go ahead.
Congratulations. Really happy for you. Is this kind of like a home game for you? Do you have more people wanting to come and join you at Nashville than normal races, since it's pretty close to home?
For sure. In the Xfinity Series, this was my home racetrack, I guess, once Memphis was off the schedule. So, yeah, I mean, it's close to home. Got a lot of friends and family that live in the area. And then, obviously, for my family coming up from home, it's, 4.5 hours. So really close to home. Got a lot. I mean, got a few spots on the backstretch, so we'll go up and watch the truck race with them. And it's always nice to have family around and friends that want to come out and support you in racing. And then obviously friends in the music industry that want to come out here as well. So definitely feels like a home game. And I wouldn't say that Nashville in my Xfinity Series was like top of the list, but after last year I had a lot of fun. So hopefully it stays there.
I talked to Patty a couple weeks ago, and he said you guys discovered something with the car's geometry, and that was one of the reasons y'all had been running so well. But he said it's like a double-edged sword where as much help as you get from Chevrolet, when you guys hit on something like that, you have to share it with the group. So how frustrating is that, being a single car team, not having the depth of engineering that some of these groups have, but in hitting on something and knowing that it's going to be short term because you're going to have to share it with the group?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, you know, we were really good. I felt like the first 2 mile and a halfs, kind of faster racetracks, Fontana and Vegas, we had strong runs. And then, you know, we really didn't get back to those tracks until, you know, kind of like Dover. And then we had that really good stretch of runs. And yeah, I mean, we hit on something, and definitely you get asked to share those things. I wish we got as much information back the other way. I think that would really help our program a lot. You know, I feel like, you know, our group of guys, you know, really work hard together to, you know, come up with any setup that we can that's going to move the needle in the right direction. And we take all the information that we get, whether it be a lot or a little, and we try to make the most of it. And, you know, our guys are doing a great job with that. Like I said, the short track stuff we're still trying to figure out. We know that, you know, we got a lot of work to do there, but if we can, you know, continue to be as strong as we have been on the mile and a halfs, I think, you know, that'll kind of get us through the season, and hopefully we figure that out on the short track before too long.
All right, Mark, go ahead.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Ricky, you want to talk a little bit about Atlanta and the fact that, you know, it's not now have that super speedway field. Do you go there pretty confident that is always in your wheelhouse to play?
Oh, heck yeah. I'm looking forward to getting back to Atlanta. Our car was so fast there earlier this year. It handled really well, and I felt like it was the class of the field, and obviously we blew that tire leading. So hopefully we learned a little bit throughout the season on the tire issues that we can maybe help ourselves. Again, that's some of the information that we didn't have before the race that we got after the race on some, you know, tire pressure, camber things that definitely would have helped if we had that before the race. Instead, we found out the hard way. But, you know, obviously it being hot and slick when we get, you know, to Atlanta this time versus, you know, where we were at the beginning of the season, I think a good handling race car is going to be even, you know, that much more important. And I know Brian, Patty, and my guys will give me that.
Just a moment ago, talking to Tyler Reddick, talked about not only the mental drain of a super speedway race, but there was also a physical component to it that he didn't really anticipate. Did you find that race more mentally draining than maybe something at Daytona, Talladega, and on top of that, more physically draining? How did the mental, physical drain, how did you deal with that, or what did you think of that during that race?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say mentally it was a little bit maybe different than Daytona and Talladega, just because we weren't 100% sure what to expect, right? It was a brand new racetrack. There were some bumps off of turn 4 on the top side that, you know, we were trying to navigate and figure out what the car was going to do over those bumps. Kind of the narrow entry into turn 3, you know, obviously around your, you know, in practice by yourself, the bottom was by far the fastest lane around the racetrack, and then it ended up being, you know, kind of the middle to the top during the race. And so I felt like as a driver, you're just trying to figure out that new track, and, you know, we weren't 100% sure it was going to race like a speedway until we got out there. I mean, in practice it did, but like nobody was really pressing the issues. But, you know, once we, I'd say, all started going flat out and really racing, we weren't sure if that was going to be the case, and obviously it was. So, yeah, I mean, just trying to learn the track. Physically, I didn't think the track was much more demanding physically. I mean, I did have a headache when the 2 hit me in the door when we blew a tire, but other than that, I felt the car was similar at Daytona, Talladega, physically-wise.
Do you feel like things happened more with high speed, or was it like Daytona, Talladega compressed, or not?
Yeah, I would say it was more compressed, and definitely things happened quicker. Track was a little bit narrower than what we're used to for a speedway, which obviously makes it a little bit more tricky as well. And then, you know, when you have such high bank and you're going into the corner and the radius is tighter, it's harder to see kind of out the corner. And I would say that's maybe the biggest difference.
All right, Bob, go ahead.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Did you, obviously the 10 is open for next year, so I'm curious, did you have any conversations with Stuart Haas about that car, and also were you nervous at all about whether JTG would keep you? I mean, you've had good but not great success there.
Yeah, I think I let Josh kind of handle at KHI, handle everything off the racetrack as far as contracts go and talking to other teams. We feel like we have a really good fit and felt like, JTG was where we wanted to be. I feel really confident in who we have and what we're doing right now, and want to continue to kind of grow that and keep that going. I don't want to bounce around from team to team. I don't think that does myself or anybody really any favors. So want to build on what we've started. We haven't had consistently the runs that we want, but I think we've had a lot of shining moments, especially this year, and we know those racetracks and we know where we struggle. So was I worried? I try not to worry too much about that. I feel like I have a really good relationship with our whole organization, and especially Tad comes to every racetrack, and I feel confident with everything that he does, and he believes in me, and like I said earlier, I think everybody at our company believes in each other, and we go to battle together, and so I was never really worried. I don't know, Tad, did you not want me there? I don't know. I felt really good about it.
All right, we're going to take one final question here in the back. Go ahead.
Jared Haas here. Two-part of the question. One is, how many years is that multi-year? Is it at least 2 years, at least
multi.
3? Okay. And then you had a streak of four straight top 10 finishes. Did that really seal the deal for your contract to be re-signed with JTG Daughter Racing?
I'm not sure. That'd be a Tad question. I think, Tad and myself have been, chatting about this since the beginning of the season. Tad's always working on getting funding for our car, and, working on, I feel like, things probably a little more important than my contract, as far as, making the team go around, and Tad does a great job with that. So, good runs never hurt, but I think, that stretch of races we kind of had circled really as racetracks that we felt like we could do exactly what we accomplished. And, I know a lot of people were kind of surprised that we were able to do that, but internally we felt like we were capable of doing that. And it was cool to, feel that way and actually, fulfill that, that thought process. So, I would say it never hurt.
Thank you.
All right. Any final questions? We got one more. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. Hi, Ricky.
How are you, Nate?
I'm great. Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. So you were talking about that you hope that the car is around for years to come. How much more secure were you in signing this deal with the next gen this year? Did that give you a lot more security in knowing that this is a place you can be? Because it seems like it's been a game changer for teams like JTG.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at, obviously I've been in the Cup Series for quite some time now, and I felt like if you weren't spending a ton of money or had all this information coming in and trying to develop new parts and pieces, you really weren't going to catch up. When something's always evolving and always changing. And so, obviously when I first signed my contract at JTG, our second year we were supposed to have that car, and that's what I was really looking forward to, is like, hey, I know we might not be exactly where we want to be our first year, but, this new car's coming in, we can learn it, more of the pieces are going to stay the same, throughout, season to season, and let's try and build on that. We had to wait an extra year for that. So, for me, I was very thankful that, we were able to, add another year to our contract to run this year with this race car. And, it definitely gave me the confidence running this car so far this year that, I feel like being here, we can still do great things and contend for wins.
All right, Ricky, congratulations again on
Thank
that
you.
contract extension, and we wish you the best of luck this weekend in Nashville.
Thank you.